Joe Biden will host Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House Tuesday to discuss further defense cooperation. But of course, hanging over that series of planned talks is the reality that Congress is not fully on board with additional funding for the war-torn nation. So what all can possibly be achieved?
Everything in the United States has been highly politicized. Obviously, we have an election coming up. And so any issue, and especially Ukraine, where you're talking about, big amounts of money, you've got this overall package of $106 billion, $60 billion of which would go to Ukraine. The rest would go to Israel, to the border, and some other, Taiwan, in fact. But $60 billion is a lot of money.
Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a current visit that Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, is currently in D.C. to collect his needed portion for the Ukrainian-Russian war. So we know for a fact that the war now has been going on for close to 2 years. Russia previously invaded Ukraine, and the world watched as everyone sat back and thought this was horrendous. We've come to learn that there's been some misappropriations for the money that's going on. Vladimir Zelensky has fired some of his budgeting chiefs as well as his commanders as a result of the war, and now they're facing some issues as a result of the Biden administration fighting to get funding through. But many people in the Republican Party are a bit upset about this. So over the last few weeks, we've covered the issue in New York City, Chicago, D.C. with the migrant crisis. With these nations, these cities are crumbling under the weight of immigration right now. Mayor Eric Adams visited D.C. recently, along with a coalition of mayors around the country. And they went there in a response looking for an option to receive some kind of funding for these cities. New York City has advised that there's $7 billion deficit right now that they're facing due to the migrant crisis. The state of California has advised that they are $68 billion in deficit as a result to different policies that are going on. And right now, many people are confused as to why there's not any support right now going on from the Biden administration heading to these cities for these overall policy. The border policy in general is one that is given down from the Biden administration, and cities are dealing with this. I'll go ahead and play a little video here from Mayor Eric Adams talking about his recent visit. If you're first time joining, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We'll go on from there.
Today, I was in Washington, D.C. To meet with our congressional leaders and to meet with the White House. And I wanted to take the opportunity at the White House celebration for the holiday season, because I knew I would have a gathering of lawmakers, mayors from across the country. And I was able to speak with the mayor of Chicago and leaders from Massachusetts and others. And we're seeing the same thing across the entire country. Our residents are weary, our residents are angry, our residents are seeing the impact of the migrant and asylum seeker issue, how it is taken away from the resources that should go to the day-to-day services of running the city. We did not walk out from D.C. with any level of optimism that anything is going to drastically change. It is clear that for the time being, this crisis is going to be carried by the cities.
So, following these recent events, I sit back and I wonder, what will this country look like in 5 years? Many people are saying how much they hate the idea of Donald Trump being the next president once again, but my thought process is, what will happen again? New York City has received 150,000 new migrants that have come over, and they're on pace, it looks like, to receive another 150,000. So if you're saying 5 years from now, they're receiving somewhere around 600 to 700,000 additional people to New York City, another 200,000 or 300,000 to Chicago, and people are moving. California is bankrupt. What does this nation look like in 5 years from now? Like, this doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Joe Biden was on at a press conference recently demanding more additional aid for Ukraine. I'll go ahead and play that and watch that and come back from there.
Congress needs to pass supplemental funding for Ukraine before they break for the holiday resources. As simple as that. Frankly, I think it's stunning that we've gotten to this point in the first place. While Republicans in Congress are willing to give Putin the greatest gift he could hope for, we are prepared to stay with us, stay with Ukraine, and our European friends are as well. Who in the United States are prepared to walk away from that? I tell you, I'm not prepared to walk away, and I don't think the American people are either. If Putin takes Ukraine, he won't stop there. It's important to see the long run here. He's going to keep going. Then we'll have something that we don't seek and that we don't have today. American troops fighting Russian troops. American troops fighting Russian troops if he moves into other parts of NATO. Make no mistake, today's vote's going to be long remembered, and history's going to judge harshly those who turn their back on freedom's cause. We can't let Putin win. Extreme Republicans are playing chicken with our national security, holding Ukraine's funding hostage to their extreme partisan border policies. Let me be clear. We need real solutions. I support real solutions at the border. I put forward a comprehensive plan the first day I came into office. I made it clear that we need Congress to make changes to fix what is a broken immigration system. If we walk away now, it will only embolden other would-be aggressors. So I'm calling on Congress to do something and do the right thing.
So there you have it. President Biden once again demands additional funding for Ukraine. Vladimir Zelensky will be seen by the Senate Republicans, senators in Congress. He will also be ushered in by Joe Biden as well. And we're just wondering, what are your thoughts on this? What do you believe that this is being orchestrated? Do you think that this is a overreaction for many people? Do you not care that anybody? It looks like I said that the majority of people are coming in that looks like are from Africa, from China, from South America, and people are paying $10,000, $30,000 to get to Colombia, to get to Peru, in these areas, and then to walk up. Do you guys think that anyone should be allowed into the country? Do you guys think that there should be no filter whatsoever? Have any of you guys traveled outside of the country and seen what it's like for other people to try to cross the border illegally? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.